The Beamish Museum is regarded as the living museum of the north of England that is. It's an open-air museum located near Stanley in County Durham and about a 25-minute car or taxi ride from Newcastle Central itself. The museum attempts to show everyday life during the Victorian and Edwardian eras and right up to the 1950s, particularly as it became affected by the Industrial Revolution. Its creation was championed by Frank Atkinson. It was opened in 1972 after several years of preparatory work and effort. It contains carefully collected and curated artifacts and a number of translocated buildings from the local area in order to create this fascinating site that is well worth a visit and is constantly evolving. Our first stop will be at the 1900s town, where we will visit some of the shops. Opened in 1985, the town depicts a pre-World War I urban area and features various typical small businesses. This cooperative store was relocated from Anfield Plain in County Durham. There was a store similar to this in the South London town where I grew up, and the smell of paraffin, carbolic, soap, lamp oil and such all merged together to produce a unique aroma. I remember these stores well.
You've got a very exclusive to get paper. Can choose yourself.
For a store.
I said it wasn't Harry, was it? She goes, ah yeah, that's what you call it. I said, no, he's a Harry, is that what Harry?
Hey guys, thank you. I appreciate that.
Like so many old chemist shops, there is a wall of bottles and mysterious drawers, all bearing arcane labels. And here you can dress up in period clothes and pose for a photograph. And this all revives fearful memories of a brutal school dentist when I was a kid. The Masonic Hall was opened in 2006, and the former Sunderland Masonic Hall's frontage is used. The Barclays Bank opened in 1999. An array of items produced in the bakery using traditional methods are available for sale. They're very, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
The garage exhibit was opened in 1994 and shows a garage in 1913 when few people had motor cars. As can be seen, the various machine tools inside the garage are driven using the overhead belt and pulley system that still existed in some places in the UK even into the 1980s. We're now on board another tram, heading to Pockley, which will be our next stop. So let's enjoy the ride. On our way to Pockley, we pass an area in which a replica 1950s street of terraced houses is under development. The entire site covers about 350 acres of the parkland of the former Beamish Hall estate. The Beamish Hall itself is currently under renovation.
I remember I used to go to the rheumatoid arthritis and the nurses.
Because the trams run on a single line, the Pockley Halt features one of the site's passing loops for them to pass each other. After arriving at Pockley, we will first visit the wagonway. Chaldron wagons were used to haul coal and minerals. They were horse-drawn and hand-braked. Today's locomotive represents the famous Puffing Billy, which sported the first bogie wheel sets, which were designed to spread the weight of engines to prevent constant fracturing of the Wylam cast iron wagonway. Though the Beamish track is of steel rails, this was not the case in the very earliest wagonways, which were generally cast iron plates or even just wood planks. Several replica steam-powered locomotives reside at Beamish, including one which represents locomotion, which made history in 1825 powering the Stockton and Darlington line. The actual locomotive is at the National Railway Museum in Shildon. The actual Puffing Billy is on display in the Science Museum in London. Its sister locomotive, Wylam Dilly, now lives in the National Museum of Scotland in Edinburgh. We will next go up to Pockley Hall itself. On display at Pockley Hall for 2 days only was a depiction of the foodstuffs and culinary delights created from traditional recipes, all celebrating Harvest Home. Pockley Hall represents a wealthy farmer's house of the period. Though some of the hall's roof timbers are 15th century, other parts could be even earlier, it is said.
But I wonder if there have been incidents there and that's why they enforce it rigidly.
I never even thought of that, actually.
See that work it's looking acceptable.
Once more we board our tram, and we will now make a short visit to the coal mining pit village. This particular tram stop is close to the museum entrance. The dominant foreground building is that of the village school, very similar to my South London primary school. The colliery engine shed and yard show standard gauge locos and rolling stock, while the deep mine contains narrow gauge tracks typical of then current practice. We can see several more chaldron wagons in the yard. The winding engine was relocated from Chop Hill Colliery. Based on an 1800 design, it was built in 1855 by Joyce's of Newcastle.
School, 1913, which is maybe having an opening and closing that door, it meant the air could circulate around the pit properly so the lead could breathe. And lessened the risk of explosions. It could dispel the methane gas that was there. So that was an important job. But they could sit for 40 days. That stopped.
Mr. Stevenson's invention predated the Davy lamp, though Sir Humphrey was loath to admit it. After a brief walkabout, we now look back at the village. The goods shed was relocated from Alnwick in Northumberland, whose lovingly preserved station is now a gorgeous bookshop of Keep Calm and Carry On fame, and that I have frequented. This cast iron footbridge was originally at Dunstan near Gateshead. It's a typical North East Railway style. Others are still in use on main lines in the area. The coal office has come from Hexham and the coal drop came from West Bolden. Rowley Station was relocated from Rowley Village near Consett, which is near to Beamish itself. The original was built in 1845 and originally known as Cold Rowley. Beamish dismantled it in 1972, rebuilt it at its present site and opened it in 1976. The line itself is a mere quarter mile long. Rebuilt and subsequently opened for rides, in 2010. The 1896 signal box is also a relocated building, having come from Carr House, which is also near Consett. It is not operational. The points are operated from ground frames. It's difficult to see and appreciate everything in a single day, but it is a place I would recommend going to see for a most enjoyable time out.